We have risen from the ashes to school the masses. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Scholars of Wrestling. It's that time. Another WWE paper... No, wait. No, that's not right. No, that's no longer pay-per-views. A WWE special event, Payback Weekend. I am Tarek. Alongside me, as always, Brian. Hello, Brian.
Hello.
And, wow, Jeff looks really different this week. Wait a minute. You're not Jeff. No, Jeff is not here again because I guess he's still facing those hellacious beasts from last week. That would be my guess.
Yeah, those.
We haven't heard from him all week.
Man, those wolves are hell, man.
Hell dogs are just kind of tearing him to shreds, and we haven't heard from him like all week. I actually think we should start getting worried.
It's a week. Trust me, it's over.
One
way or another, it's over.
As far as we know it, the hellacious beast has taken the fool. But I feel kind of heartbroken about this, and
this is on par with the time I was stuck in the snowbank for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's kind of heartbreaking. I'm not even sure if we're going to see the fool again. Oh, well, back to Scholars of Wrestling. We have actually a special guest with us this week to give his predictions on Payback. I'm still not a big fan of the title. It's kind of silly. We have Open Mic Wrestling Night's own Dave Castaldo. Hello, Davey boy.
Gentlemen, how are you today?
We are worried about Jeff. He's still... We haven't heard from him all week. I don't know what's coming.
I'm not. It's okay. He'll come back. Maybe.
No.
He'll come back in some shape or form. Please, fool. Come back to us.
Missing eyebrows and part of his jaw, but he'll be all right.
Missing his Optimus point of views.
I kind of envision him being like Peter and Chris going into the village to seek out their spiritual guides, and he'll be coming back, and beforehand we're all like, he's dead, you know.
He's dead, you know.
Nah, but he's probably crawling back, and hopefully he can crawl back here safely.
And we'll find out his spiritual guide is none other than Dude Love. What's the dude like? I bet he's kind of a jerk. Yeah, a little. Yeah, a little.
He keeps kicking me in the shin. It's not cool, man.
And while he's kicking me, he's yelling, "Ow, have mercy." Facepalm moment.
Alright, I believe we're talking wrestling, not Family Guy quotes or really bad...
They're all one and the same.
Really bad speculations on what happened to Jeff, but yeah, you're right. We're here to talk about some wrestling. Since
we're here to talk about some special events.
Some special... formerly pay-per-view events, but not really.
The word pay-per-view is
now no longer in void when it comes to WWE special events.
Well, when they advertise it, do they say on the WWE network and on pay-per-view now?
Nah, I haven't seen anything.
Because I thought I did, but it would only make sense only because, I mean, they're still on several providers such as like Optimum and.
That's true.
Verizon,
yeah, they're just not on the big ones, the DirecTV
and
Dish. They're not on those, but everything else, they're still on.
With the stock dropping the way that it has, I wouldn't be surprised if, I mean, not that they would do away with the network completely, but I would not be surprised if they kept special events exclusive to pay-per-view after a certain point if they keep losing the money that they're losing.
If anything, like, don't have the pay-per-view on the network, like maybe a week after the actual event, and have them, the way to see it is on pay-per-view. Cheap prices, though. No longer, what was it, like $40 to $60?
No, it goes $45, I think, and then WrestleMania is like $70 or $70.
If it goes back to pay-per-view, you're going to go back to the normal prices because they need to make that money back.
Well, not even going back to normal prices. More people than ever are going to go back to pirating the shows. So,
oh yeah, no doubt.
Who knows?
Who knows? Except maybe WWE. They could
WWE doesn't even know.
No one knows. No one knows.
This is why we have the less stressful task of recording a podcast or something versus actually being in a multi-billion-dollar office and being like, oh crap, what are we going to do from here? So I'm glad that we're on this side of the microphone and desk instead of that side of the desk and microphone.
Yeah. Even though that would be kind of sweet to be like, hey, we know what's going on in the wrestling world.
Honestly, I don't want that job because Vince McMahon and Triple H breathing down your neck. I don't know, man.
I have a guy that I did an interview with on my show. Actually, he's the lemon for the Rosebuds. His name is Ryan Katz, and this was before he even got, I think, the interview to get the job that he eventually has now in the WWE. And him and I were talking, on my show, and he was very optimistic about the direction in which the WWE is going, and it's still going in a really good direction. He's a producer, I believe, for NXT or some of their filming and what they do for like vignettes and as such.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, he later on was even like, okay, this is great, because he'll go to the Performance Center, like if he's in Florida, be like, all right, I'm the first one in the Performance Center. I feel like this is my building. Oh wait, Triple H is calling me. Oh, no longer my Performance Center.
It's like, right away he calls, he's like, this is my... Didn't even finish my sentence. Hello, hello, Paul, how are you doing?
Hello, Mr. Paul.
Mr. Paulie, how can I help? Don't call me that, I'm sorry, sir.
I'll slap the shit. I'll slap you.
Can you pedigree me?
No.
No. Oh.
We have 7 rings, though. Come on, dude.
No.
No. I'm wearing a suit today. No.
That's never stopped you. No. Okay.
You're not Daniel Bryan. No.
Yeah, seriously. The only exception of pedigreeing somebody who's in a suit is Daniel Bryan, if CM Punk ever comes back, and then another guy that I hopefully would actually be able to groom into something special.
Roman Reigns?
Drew McIntyre. Never happened.
The former chosen one.
To a midget bull. He's done.
Listen. No, he's not done. Now his career is taking on a whole other level. I mean, wrestling
a shorter level?
Wrestling a midget bull is one thing, but to lose to a midget bull, I mean, come on, your career's on new heights.
Yeah, you're
literally on new heights.
I wouldn't really say really heights.
You're on a different level that no one has ever seen before now.
And we thought Heath Slater went downhill, losing to all the legends and Lita. Back then,
you would think that would have actually done something for him, considering, I mean, you're facing former world champions Vader and Psycho Sid. Granted, they're not what they used to be by any stretch of the imagination. But, I mean, it's just like, okay, well, this is cool. But, no, now they're not going to do anything with him. But that's neither here or there. We already come to the establishment that Drew McIntyre's new heights of his career are taking off. And, yeah.
And on that note,
that's not very tall heights.
Let's go into the pre-show since we're talking about it.
Exactly, that is a very good segue to El Torito versus Hornswoggle 2, hair versus mask match for the Payback pre-show.
WLC was fun. This is not going to be fun.
No.
That's it.
I can imagine 3MB comes out with the tail, with the severed tail, and...
Well, they kind of gave the tail back to Los Montadores and El Doritos.
El Doritos.
You're making me hungry. Stop it.
Hungry? Why wait? Grab a bag of Doritos.
Spicy nacho. Cheap plug. Hey, don't doubt the spicy nacho. They are delish. Cheap
original,
plug.
Baby.
Cool
Original.
Cool Ranch or original? The original 2.
Cool Ranch is pretty cool too.
What do we? Okay, let's start.
All right, so
I saw what you did. Stop it.
So the midget match part 2 for the unsanctioned midget championship of the WWE.
El Torito's mask and Hornswoggle's hair. That's for the midget championship.
If you've seen Hornswoggle El Torito without a mask, he is one ugly mofo. I don't think you really want to see him on a weekly basis without a mask. So I'd like to see Hornswoggle go back to his short hair. I don't know why he even grew it out in the first place. He kind of looks like a little pumpkin with hair.
I bet you it's a wig. They're just
he's
gonna lose. He's gonna lose, and he's just gonna go like, "Whoop, done."
Okay,
but I'll say El Doritos, as Tarek likes to put it.
Yeah, I'll agree, because 3MB, they don't win on pay-per-view whether it's pre-show or not. They won one. You
got that?
They won one random Raw match, and now they're back to being 3MB. So yeah, let's keep the mask on that ugly mofo and have El Doritos win.
Now you want me to go. You want me. Ugh. This has made me want to go online and see what El Doritos looks like without the mask because I haven't seen it yet, just to see if it actually is as ugly as you are saying, Davey boy. But
I mean, Quasimodo would be a much better fit than El Doritos.
Damn. Yeah. That's just harsh, dude.
That's going all kinds of different kind of ugly.
Yeah, this is...
So what do you think about the match? Who's going to win?
It's kind of simple to say the mask is staying on. I think, has there ever been a mask match in WWE that the person, lost their mask?
I was going to say, if you want to go back to WCW when Rey Mysterio lost his mask...
in WWE, I don't think so.
I don't think there's been an opportunity in order to make it that you would actually do that.
The only time they actually ripped someone's mask off is Big Show ripping off CM Punk's mask after he had that hair versus mask match. Wow, against Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, but
that match did happen in the past.
There's a prelude possibly to this upcoming midget match.
Nah, not at all. Nah. It's probably good. It's not going to have the same magic that the WLC match had at Extreme Rules. It's going to be a lot less than that match, and it's going to be just fun midgets fighting each other.
This is just a gimmick. I mean, let's just put it this way: 3MB's relevance came back after they went to England. They formed their British group again. I can't remember their name off the top of my head.
Union Jacks.
Yes, the Union Jacks came back.
I remember that.
That's when 3MB's relevance came back to life, and now, because of that, that's why they're getting their strings of pay-per-view matches. But, yeah, I mean, this is just going to be a gimmick. WLC, I mean, obviously, as you can see from El Torito's and Hornswoggle's match, they can actually wrestle. It's just a matter of them giving them a chance. Like, you remember when the WWE would bring in the midgets back in the day? Like in the early...
To random promo segments.
No, but I'm meaning like in the early 90s when they would actually have full-blown midget matches where Sonny would referee those matches.
Oh, yeah. Wow. I completely forgot about those.
Yeah, well, I mean, they had midget wrestlers for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean...
Sucker. It's been a Rooney. Sucker.
But, oh, God, please. or even the Bret Hart midget that Michaels tortured in, 97. Just like, you can't reach me, can you? You can't.
When storylines can go no further, they bring out the midgets.
I mean, I don't want them to bring out a Bray Wyatt.
Did this even have a platform to leap off of, if you would?
Yeah. This feud between Hornswoggle and El Dorito?
No, I mean just 3MB and Los Matadores.
No,
this is just some random crap.
No, the whole focus of 3MB and Los Matadores is between El Torito and Hornswoggle. That's
Which is great.
It's good. It's real comedy stuff.
I would even, again, they're looking at, I'm sure they're looking at it oh yeah, people are going to get a couple of chuckles because we're only 3'5", but
they are taking it very seriously.
Oh yeah,
and good for them. They are entertaining.
Sold the show for Extreme Rules.
Yeah, they really did.
With VLC. There was a standing ovation from everybody in that arena. You were there.
Yeah, we were part of that standing ovation. We were part of that standing ovation.
I mean, if I were there watching it, I would have stood up and not only stand up, run as close as I can to the ring, and be like, yes, yes, you guys rule. You might be as tall with your whole body than my arms are, but that's fine. I'm okay with paying to watch this stuff happening. But I think we've said what we need to say about this match without any more midget puns.
Exactly. So it's settled. El Torito wins. Agreed?
Yes. Round table
agreed.
agrees.
Round table agreed. Ooh, I like that.
Round table agrees.
And now we go on to the event itself. Well, sort of. The only reason I say sort of is because this match is not announced, but I am convinced that it's actually going to be on the card.
I'll take a
on the
look
event.
if it is.
Don't be a lemon.
Don't be a lemon, Dave. Be a rosebud. Adam Rose versus Jack Swagger. Match isn't confirmed, but the way they've been building up this feud, and even though they had a match on SmackDown, I will not be surprised if they have just a quick...
Have a quick Adam Rose showcase.
Against good old Jack Swagger. And if it does happen, where do you see that match ending?
Adam Rose.
Adam, definitely. It's his first pay-per-view match.
Do you see
Adam Rose
him?
wins.
Do you see him winning clean or having like his posse
No, I could see
coming
him,
out to distract while they attack?
I could see Swagger going completely nuts and doing his normal getting too overconfident, and then here comes Adam Rose with a quick face victory, and then party time for the Rosebuds afterwards. It's not gonna. Jack Swagger's gonna get some moves in. It's not gonna be a squash, but Jack Swagger typically gets overconfident and tries to do more than what is necessary, and that's when Adam Rose will come in and pick up the face victory.
What's his finishing move?
It's the Dean Ambrose facebuster.
That's right. He did it to.
Somebody. Except he does it from the right side, while Dean Ambrose does.
And doesn't he do it like a stunner point? While
Kinda.
Dean Ambrose does it from like a bulldog position.
Yeah. Where if people want to be a complete idiot, they'll be like, "Oh, well, Adam Rose does it the right way because somebody from the Indies did it that way." Well, who cares? I don't even.
Who cares as long as it looks good and it does the job.
Yeah,
it does. But you know what, though? I don't think finishing moves are really relevant right here. The gimmick is. The sad thing about Adam Rose, to me, I like him not as much as certain people that we know like him, but the gimmick gets its point across that this is a guy who likes to party all the time. Eventually, he's probably going to drop that posse, but keep the lemon for some reason. I just have a feeling about him just keeping the lemon and the bunny as like a heel faction somewhere down the line. Like
when he turns into a lemon.
If he does turn heel, he'll basically pull a Shawn Michaels to Marty Jannetty and super kick the lemon. I
would absolutely love to watch that.
Major heel turn and possibly like real push for Adam Rose other than facing.
But you know what though?
Lower card.
Yeah. But as an aside though, I think WWE is pushing some of these NXT people way too fast on the main roster. And I wrote a blog about it on a website that...
Oh, would you like to cheap plug that blog?
I'll do it in a little bit. But I wrote that, is it really out of the realm of possibility to say that NXT isn't that number 2 company? Because if you look at the 2 events that they had, Arrival and Takeover.
Yeah.
They're hungry. They're their own brand. And I'm okay with them being their own brand. The network has been a blessing for NXT because now more people have the accessibility to watch it versus on Hulu Plus. Because who the heck's going to pay? What was it, like $6, $7.99, $9.99?
I think it was $9.99
for one Hulu. Show. For one show that you're going to watch. Whereas you're going to pay $9.99 for all the NXT tapings, these special events for NXT, and everything else along those lines. But to push him on the main show, Rusev, I don't see going anywhere. He'll take the Heidenreich route, maybe, he'll be relevant and dominant. Or Kozlov's a better example.
Yeah, I was going to say
he'll be relevant and dominant, and then all of a sudden he's going to take on a joke gimmick and then leave, and then Lana stays because she's Lana.
Here's my question. Yeah. Well, did Kozlov really go anywhere, even when he was doing that dominant phase? I don't really recall anything that Kozlov did. He had a couple
matches against Triple H, but that's about as far as it went.
Oh, that's fine, but that's probably all that this is going to go to. Maybe once the Wyatt Cena thing is done, if it's done, then they might do that because, now Cena's at the point in his career he's going to push people, but again, you're just throwing things at the wall now to see if it sticks. If they brought Adrian Neville over from NXT, I would think he'd be an actual hit. Sami Zayn would be the same thing. If they signed Kevin Steen, if they put Zayn and Steen in as a tag team together, basically how they broke into the business in the first place, that would be something different because the tag team needs more tag teams again. Because even though the competition's still relevant and good, they're dropping on the wayside in the sense of, okay, now we're starting to ignore them again, which is kind of annoying me. But that point being said, is it really that much to say that Adam Rose could have been just as successful staying on NXT? Because now they're just trying to throw things and see what sticks on the main shows. Rusev's another example,
And with Rusev, well, that's actually a good segue into it. For the NXT conversation, that could be its own show, its own episode, and for either one of our shows. we'll basically put a pin on that because that's actually a great topic to talk about.
Okay.
So back to the event with Rusev.
Mm-hmm.
He is facing against Big E at Payback. In kind of a thrown together match. I mean, he was about to attack Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and then Big E comes in and Rusev dominates him. And that happens 2 weeks later because they had to skip a week because Big E was in the Intercontinental Championship beat the clock challenge against Ryback, so they put that on pause for next week. He comes and attacks Rusev again when he beat, who did he beat? Zack Ryder. Yeah. Oh yeah, Zack Ryder's won TV time in like who knows how long. But yeah, he beat Zack Ryder, and then Big E comes out, and kind of the same thing happens again, where it was a little more even, but Rusev did still get the upper hand.
Not to cut you off, but just to prove my point that they are saying live on pay-per-view and WWE Network on their poster.
Oh, there you go.
Okay,
Thank you for the clarity.
Yes, there it is.
Okay, so
when it comes to Big E and Rusev, where do you see this going? If it actually will go anywhere after this pay-per-view / NXT, well not NXT, WWE Network event.
It's not going anywhere after this. This is just another Rusev showcase match. Rusev comes out on top. If they're building up Rusev for something, okay, and if that's the case, they can't have him lose here. So. Will it be competitive? Will it be more competitive than the handicap match against R-Truth and Xavier Woods? Yes, but Rusev will come out on top, and for all the fans, Lana will come out on top. Win. That came out
too perfect.
Oh, that I have to golf clap you. I have to. Okay, Dave, what do you think? Did Brian hit spot on that, or
here continues my conversation about they're throwing things against the wall to see it sticks, because they just wanted to they just were in the conversation of building Big E for something, and now they're putting him in a position to lose to somebody else that they're putting in a big spotlight. This is where I'm saying that there's too much space that they're keeping up with for the wrong reasons in this match in particular. I mean, it's a good filler, don't get me wrong. It's two big guys, the classic. The irresistible force meeting the immovable object kind of thing. But I do see Rusev coming up on top. And for Big E, I mean, a conversation for another show for either one of our shows. Where does he go from here?
Yeah, there was talk a couple months back about him facing John Cena when the feud with Bray Wyatt was over.
I read that.
But if they're building him up for that, why put him in this spot right here to lose? That's what this is.
Unless they pull another Alicia Fox kind of thing, and to be like, I'm tired of being put with the scrubs, and even though I haven't won, it's a lot of storylines going into one another for no reason. It's like you're basically seeing the same storyline for different genders and different levels of stardom, if you will, if you want to go with A, B, and C here. But again, Rusev, I agree, and I'm sure this is a round table agreement too, that Rusev's going to win. Or what I can see is like a count out,
count out,
either double count out or Big E wins by count out for some dumb reason, which will give it a reason to not only have Rusev not lose not cleanly and continue it or something. I don't know where it's going to go. This one kind of makes me scratch my head.
I can actually see a double count out on both counts, since neither one of them can afford to lose.
True.
It won't hurt either of them if they knock each other out. And in a way, I can actually want to see this actually continue on to after this pay-per-view / network event. Because it'll help build stamina and, well, I guess, what's the right word? Not prestige, but like credibility. There you go. But for both guys, just showing how dominant each one can be, and even have it build to something like at one show they each face someone, and one will be like a squash and try and outdo each other in basically looking like a giant monster.
Kind of like a Ryback, Mark Henry, and then even more so a Kozlov and Ezekiel Jackson kind of thing.
I don't remember
that. I could see that.
It was from ECW.
Yes. I can see that. I just don't...
You don't think that they'll actually go through with it?
I don't think they'll actually go through with it.
Who knows? Because, I mean, WWE's been too predictable in that sense. And then, again, like I said, and I'll keep repeating it until my face turns blue, that they're just throwing things at the wall right now to see what sticks. You know? I mean, this card, I think, will prove it, with the exception of the presumably main event in Evolution and the Shield. This has been a very... Oh, actually, sorry. With the exception of John Cena and Bray Wyatt and the Evolution match, everything's kind of thrown together to kind of see what it'll stick. I would like to maybe lead into another match, if I may.
Go right ahead.
The Intercontinental title match.
Because you just pluck a heartstring there, Davey boy.
Because I've said this when I've come to your place to watch Raw. Barrett and RVD don't work well at all. They can't. I mean, you prove it from their tournament match. They really can't work well together. And Barrett had such momentum winning the title. This is the kind of thing that they should do when Barrett's already won and defended the title, maybe for a few events in a row leading up for a couple of months. You know, maybe defend on a Raw or two, pay-per-views. Then this is when they should be like, all right, who's going to get the chance to battle Barrett for the prestigious Intercontinental Championship? Because I feel that that's the real proper way. Again, just my opinion, and I love the podcast format where I can express my opinion. Where they really, that's where they should have gone. But as far as credibility for beating somebody who's been Intercontinental Champion, like 5-6 times, someone who's a relevant star in wrestling's past and still has current relevance. This is a good stepping stone for Bad News Barrett, which I think will win this match. This is just something to push, I think, not only the prestige further in its own special way, but for Barrett, too, to be relevant in the future.
Yeah, exactly. And I 100% agree with that, with Bad News Barrett being on top, because this whole run that RVD is doing is just kind of a waste of time, because he's not really going anywhere. Well, of course, for money purposes, but when it comes to basically being relevant, when it comes to, like, you know, being in title matches, it's just help to put guys over and to hopefully have a good match. I mean, their Intercontinental Tournament match is one thing. This is now something that has more credibility with the Intercontinental Championship on the line, and maybe it actually will be better. Will it be the match of the night? Most likely not, which is disappointing because the Intercontinental Championship in the past usually is the match of the night stealer, but that's just me being an Intercontinental Championship fanboy. But yeah, it's nothing really else to say other than this is really, you're saying that they should have him do more title defenses before facing someone with, like, credibility?
Well, not even credibility, just have something at random. Like, when John Cena had his reign of the championship for over a year at that one point, they started doing matches like Beat the Clock and whatnot to see who would face him next. Either someone who's already had their chance or somebody who hasn't had their chance yet. This is where, I mean, again, I'm just saying this in the sense of if you're trying to build prestige in either Barrett, the championship, or both, that's a way that you could have gone. Because people are going to be gunning for that title now. So they should have had it better planted, if that makes any sense. But again, I mean, that's just my opinion. But having this match with RVD could, I mean, whether it's good or not, in the mind of people who look back at things, this is a big victory for Barrett.
Yeah.
For other than defending the championship, but going forward, if they do decide to finally push him for a world championship or something like that, this could go a long way.
Yeah, it definitely can.
I definitely agree. Barrett is going to win. You've both basically taken the words right out of my mouth. And also, I hope this match is good because Rob Van Dam, since his return in July, it's been really lackluster to me. Like there's been no match of Rob Van Dam that I've come out and said like, hey, that was actually really good. No.
But he's older though, too.
He's older, but but it's also, I just don't think, if you're gonna come back to put people over, come back with your best shoes on, and I don't think I don't think he's been at his best the entire time that he's been there at all. Maybe it's the opponent selection, maybe it's just him getting really high in the backstage area and not being able to perform the way that he used to anymore because he's older.
Right.
But it's bad. He needs to have a good showing in order to give Bad News Barrett that push, that prestige, or else it's just another match where, hey, Bad News Barrett won, but it was lackluster, and you can do better than that.
Yeah, I mean, it's also a way of, I mean, you watch his matches with Jerry Lynn and more in ECW. It's not only the fact that he's older, but it's also like today's speed versus yesteryear's speed, I guess, in a way. Because, I mean, whether he's older or not, RVD still keeps himself in great physical condition.
Yeah.
That goes without saying. I mean, he can still, I mean, if you want to put it from a wrestling fan's point of view, he can still do the frog splash without splitting himself in half and split-legged moonsaults, all that other stuff. But it's just a different speed. I mean, especially if you were in WWE for so long and you were a top-tier guy, you went out as, I mean, obviously he went out losing the championship, the WWE championship, but you were the top guy. And then you go to a lackluster company in TNA where either you're not going to wrestle or you're just going to be used for storyline purposes. It's so dumb. That takes a lot out of you, I think. And then just he has to come back to guys who do it 300 days a year, and he's coming back on this stage part-time again. It's very hard to... I think it's just very hard for somebody like him, even in his peak physical condition, to really get back into ring condition. Like with football, for example. It's one thing being in great physical shape. There's another thing being in football shape. So,
if he doesn't leave right away, like what people are saying he might do, if he actually stays around longer, I can see him basically clearing off whatever ring rust he has. Because even with his match against Del Rio to have the Beat the Clock challenge, it was a relatively good match. They did have a spot where Del Rio was in the middle of the ring while he was trying to do a Rolling Thunder, but he was fighting at like a Top Game type ordeal. So if he does stay a little longer, I could see him basically clearing off whatever ring rust or whatever he had in TNA off. I mean, look at Batista. But even he's been around since WrestleMania. At first, when he came back, like at the Royal Rumble, 5 minutes into the match, he was out of breath, he was tired. Now he looks like he's getting relatively better in the ring. He's actually having good matches when he faces Dolph Ziggler or against Seth Rollins. Those matches are very entertaining, and not if RVD tends to stay longer and actually help put younger talent over, maybe help go into a tag team with Kofi Kingston to give them some credibility. I could see him actually gaining relevance back to his name, as long if he has to work on the mic, because even when he had that little backstage promo with Paul Heyman and Cesaro, he was just basically like, "Hey man, you better watch out because I'm RVD." He says like 5 times over.
Yeah, but
as long as he doesn't stay on, doesn't do any backstage stuff and just shows up and have matches, I think he'll just be perfectly fine.
The way he practices, the way he play, and I mean he was good on the mic when he left, with the championship and all that other stuff.
But with this particular run,
I hate to go back, but WrestleMania with Taker and Lesnar, you knew that they were part-time wrestlers. You knew that none of them, and even as good as Undertaker is, he wasn't in wrestling shape. It's two completely different animals. So I agree with you. I mean, maybe he should be a tag team with Kofi, but he's making so much money to do so little. So why the heck would he want to change his schedule for? Oh, well, I want to be better in the ring. A lot of these guys come in just to pick up that paycheck and just go home, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it actually very is.
But whatever.
Nothing else more to say other than bad news. Barrett taking the title, or keeping the title, is a better term because
he can take the title in order to keep it.
Exactly. Bad news. Barrett roundtable chosen. He is the real chosen one.
We've agreed on the first 3 matches, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
And I think the streak is going to continue. Moving on to the United States Championship match, which could possibly be a very good possible show stealer in Sheamus versus Cesaro.
Everybody be a clubbering.
I really liking this feud because really I don't think there really is no talking. It's just motions in the ring. Their first real match was at the Raw in London, I believe, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
And that match was awesome.
Oh yeah.
It was a great back and forth match. No messing up. It was just beautiful storytelling in the ring.
Because it's just 2 Europeans beating the crap out of each other, doing what they do best, and that's what I like to see.
And just from the fans' point of view in that match, they were booing the hell out of Sheamus when he came out. But as soon as the match ended, they were applauding both guys. Like, you guys made an awesome match. I loved it. Thank you for sharing that with us. And I think they're going to share it with the Chicago crowd and for the United States Championship.
True.
But here's the question. Who's going to walk away the champion? Will Sheamus successfully defend the championship, or will they give Cesaro another U.S. title run? Brian, you go first.
Sheamus wins because of what I've saw, because of plans that I've heard in the future for Cesaro. He doesn't need the United States title, whether it's by DQ, whether it's not a clean victory, but Sheamus walks out the United States champion because Cesaro's in line for the Money in the Bank. So if he does win that, what does he need the United States title for? He's going for the WWE World Heavyweight title, and just this is going to be 15 minutes of just
Magic.
2 Europeans beating the crap out of each other, which is something that I could watch all day.
European magic.
And whether there's a clean victory, whether it's a double count out, this is the match where I believe that there could be a double count out.
Or a double DQ, maybe.
Double DQ, just beating the crap out of each other and not caring when the bell rings. And just this is going to be awesome, but Sheamus leaves the United States champion, whether by pinfall or via other means.
Davey boy?
Well, going back to your original comment hyping up this match, the only person that's been talking is the only one that needs to talk, and that's Paul Heyman.
Yes.
So with him, he's one of, on a side note, I'm looking forward to the DVD coming out. But he's, even in Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, he told the story, not all of it, because, there's a lot of things, and we've discussed this before, there's a lot of things that they left out in that storyline in particular. But the only one that needed to talk in that whole thing was Paul Heyman in that one Undertaker promo, the one before the actual show itself.
They had the one at Main Event, correct? They had a promo at Main Event.
Oh, yeah, with Heyman and Undertaker. But, again, the one guy that needed to talk, talked. And he told a better story, either through statistics or anything else like that. He told the whole thing. And Brock didn't need to talk at all, which he never does. And Undertaker had to do minimum talking, maybe just to make a creepy prelude to not all streaks last forever.
I hated that.
Well, that's what I knew, like Brock's take.
Yeah.
But in this setting, he's still pushing that Brock Lesnar conquered the streak at WrestleMania. And he's pushing the fact of, if Cesaro's underneath his wing, he doesn't need anything else. I do believe that either Sheamus will win or there will be a double DQ. If Cesaro is to take the U.S. title, they're going to want more people to see it and do it on a Raw the next night or on SmackDown that following Friday. You know what I'm saying? Or main event. Well, then again, it's the same audience with the pay-per-view and the network. So I would think that if they did a title change, it would be at Raw. Because WWE, they're going to change their plans no matter what. And even though it would be ideal for Cesaro to go for the championship at Money in the Bank, or even pull... Did Kane cash in that first night when he won the ECW one? Or
he cashed in.
No, sorry, the World's Championship.
Yeah, he won it the same night.
He cashed it in like 30 minutes later.
Yeah, so I mean, I could see them doing something like that with Cesaro if they did that. And then maybe have him hold both straps, unify the U.S. title that way. That way he can just kind of retire it. That way I can kind of... I'm just foreshadowing here for...
There's one thing, though. They've been speculating that the Money in the Bank, the ladder match, is going to be for the title.
And if they
then
do
instead
that,
of the briefcase, the briefcase is the Money in the Bank.
But then if they do that, I mean, again, this is all hearsay and this is all rumor, and this is why we like going to these websites. For some of us and the rest of us, like me, there are days I'm like, oh, do I really even want to see this? But if they do the U.S. title push, they're going to have Cesaro win it on Raw. So that would lead me to believe that either a double DQ or something where it's just going to continue for the next night. And then Cesaro will likely go in Money in the Bank as U.S. champion. I don't think he'll win, but he'll go in as U.S. But then again, with the company the way that they're going, they gave Daniel Bryan a chance. So who knows where they're going to go at this point. But as far as for the sake of conversation that we're having right now for the pay-per-view, Sheamus wins or a double DQ.
I see Sheamus winning, but it'll probably be something... Not even like something Sheamus doing something heelish. Just probably Cesaro maybe knocks down Paul Heyman and he's just like, "Oh God, I'm sorry," and then something similar.
I think it's too soon for something like that.
Especially,
it's not going to affect their whole thing. It's just
it could
Paul Heyman trying to do some heel tactics.
But if they did do something like that, they should do it for a pay-per-view closer to SummerSlam.
But if they're
or to Survivor Series, something along those lines.
And they're wanting to push Cesaro as one of their top baby faces
against Brock Lesnar too.
Yeah. So could start somewhere. Maybe it will start at Money in the Bank. I don't know.
I can see it leading up to a Rumble or something. If they did it then, because they need this partnership between Cesaro and Heyman to build as a credible partnership.
Yeah.
I mean, they might show some resentment when Brock comes back for SummerSlam. You know, they might do that and then lead from there. But again, this is why we have the podcast format. This is why it's awesome to talk about what we love to talk about, and other people can hear us. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, this is all just hearsay.
Sheamus they'll keep the title on Sheamus because Cesaro is basically beyond the point where he needs the United States Championship of all championships.
Yeah, true.
Technically, you could say that about Sheamus too, but
no, he needs it. I think right now to put somebody of a higher caliber with that title, that's what they needed to do with Sheamus, and same thing with Barrett. Although Barrett was never a world champion,
he's the top. He's been in top storylines. He's been a main attraction.
Yeah,
he was the leader of the Nexus. Yeah, he was the leader of the Nexus. He started going downhill with the core. Nobody wants to remember the core. Nobody wants to remember the core.
Bring up another match before I slap you.
Okay. All right, the last title match of the event, the Divas Championship versus Paige and Alicia Fox. I don't really care about this at all. I never was like, I'm glad they're doing something with a different diva, but Alicia Fox is just so boring to me, even when they're trying to give her character. And even this past week when she was facing Emma, just some of the stuff she was doing, it seemed like, oh God, you can actually hurt Emma when she threw her out of the ring like that. Or after the match is over, she just attacked her. I'm like, oh, that didn't look safe.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
Alicia Fox is just not one of those divas that just is a money drawer when it comes to the divas division of all divisions. But if they're wanting to take it seriously, have Paige continue her dominance as the Divas champion. She took out Tamina Snuka. Tamina Snuka has more credibility than Alicia Fox when it comes to in ring, and she was the Diesel to AJ's Shawn Michaels. This whole Alicia Fox thing, it bores me. It waste of time. It's simple to say. Paige takes it for me. To hell with Alicia Fox. I hate Alicia Fox. Yawn. Moving on.
I'll say
to
this.
What you guys think.
I'll say this. All right. I like the attempt.
A for effort.
A for effort, but that showing on Monday just sloppy. Okay, and maybe that works with the crazy, out of control character.
But why are they going to replace a crazy character in AJ Lee unless she's not coming back with another really lame, more boisterous attempt at what the AJ character was?
And you stole the words right out of my mouth. So
Good job.
But that was my point exactly. And AJ Lee could pull it off better. A for effort, but yeah. If Paige could make Tamina Snuka tap out in like 5 seconds, then this is no contest. Paige takes it for me as well.
I just get to watch Paige. That's all I care about.
Yeah, that's pretty much Paige.
My little English pound cake. That's all I care about.
Oh my God! Just.
Wow. Thank you.
I can't throw you in the corner because you're our special guest. So
I mean, you could, but I
don't throw special guests in the corner.
Okay.
The only person who I've actually thrown in the corner is Jeff. And
no, you threw me in the corner.
Oh yeah, I did throw you in the corner once, but you only lasted for like 5 seconds. I'm like, come back, Brian. I miss you.
I went out of control with the Wyattisms.
Yeah, so my little English pound cake right there.
Oh jeez, Davey boy.
Yes. Anyway, so back to real serious business for a second here. Paige. I mean, again, like Brian was saying, why are you trying to attempt to recreate the AJ character where that was just lightning in a bottle? The way that she was represented in a main storyline, whether with Punk, Daniel Bryan, and Kane, and then being basically with the exception of the Total Divas show aside, she was the face of the Divas division. And even when she was in the Indies as Miss April, I never really cared for her wrestling work because she really wasn't that good. But she's a better character than anything. And that's something you really can't replace at all. And especially when it's a one-of-a-kind character that only she can pull off to a T. She's probably really nuts in person, which I don't doubt. But, again, A for effort for Alicia Fox. She's a good wrestler. When she's just concentrating on wrestling, then I'm okay with her. Like the Raw after Paige won the title, they put on like a 10, 15-minute clinic, the two of them.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
It was a great match. I can see this potentially, and I know you're going to disagree with me, the two of you, and anybody who's listening online. I think this could be the show stealer. For the sense of they both know how to wrestle, they've been trained under the right guidance with NXT, and they know how to work with one another.
Alicia
and that's
Fox?
good. Yes, and that's their benefit. Go watch the Raw after Paige won the title. That match was an absolute clinic, and that was getting like huge applause. The most reaction out of any Divas match I've seen in a long time, just because they could wrestle. So, Paige with the win. I would say cheaply though, because I don't think this feud's going to end just now. Maybe have it continue for another little while. Before somebody from Total Divas comes in and tries to take the title, Natty, or I gotta say the Charlotte Natty match was good though, but I can see somebody from them eventually taking it from Paige, which is going to be complete BS. But that's beyond the point. Paige wins, cheap win, roll up, backslide, something really dumb, and then that's the way you're going to either continue the feud or show a little chink in Paige's armor.
Yeah, and just for the point of that Raw match, I can guarantee you that Raw match is why they're attempting to do what they're trying to do with Alicia Fox right now.
Agreed.
They had a really good match, and so they wanted to have it on a pay-per-view, and they needed a reason to have it, so they gave Alicia Fox a crazy as hell character and decided to turn her loose on Paige. That would be perfectly fine, okay, but when you have Alicia Fox focus on a character instead of what's in the ring, I don't know.
I agree.
We'll see.
And I could be perfectly honest here, just from what I've seen, what they're doing with the whole Total Divas and Natalya, I would like to have seen her actually kind of snap and go crazy. Since one thing, she's kind of like the butt of the jokes of the Total Divas. I'm Dave, stop it. Stop caressing your page photo. But yeah, I would like to have seen Natalya be the one who actually does snap. They actually had her do that when she had her match with Nikki Bella a couple of weeks ago. That she finally like they're making fun of her because she had this painting that she gave her. I don't watch Total Divas.
Oh, because the painting was awful or something.
Like, and they had a match for it, and then they're
so dumb.
It is very dumb. And having Natalya push her away after the match was over, I'm like, oh, are they going to do something special with that? And they end up not doing it, and they give a crazy chick thing 0.2 to Alicia Fox.
Well, just remember, Total Divas, was also taped a long time ago.
Yeah, I know, but they're doing it really still today.
But they still make it currently relevant for some reason. But here's the other thing I have to say, and then I'll drop this one because I'll just keep caressing my photo.
Oh my god!
The other reason why I say they're going to have Paige win is not only did they have her defeat Paige in England, which was a complete shock to me.
It's WWE. They have the hometown hero lose anyway.
Most of the time, yes. But here's where I'm seeing where they're going to go at with Paige right now, because she's got a million people behind her. Like, she's very popular as a diva. From her NXT persona as the anti-diva, I'm sure they're going to bring that out in her eventually, especially when it comes to that eventual feud that I think they're going to have with a Total Divas cast member, whether it be Natty, one of the Bellas, likely one of the Bellas, or someone along that line. They're going to do that, but then they're also going to eventually have that Paige-Emma match, which that Arrival match, and any match on NXT that they've had, awesome, phenomenal. Like, you can't. I can't even say anything about it properly because it's just that good. And the AJ Page rematch. That's what they're gonna. That's what they're eventually gonna build for. But in the meantime, if AJ does take an extended leave, which is what I believe is happening right now,
because he's getting married to Punk. So.
Well, but besides that, she's been the main diva for a long time. And instead of to be on Punk's good graces and hers as well, they're going to give her the time off that she wants. So they're going to probably do a Total Divas brief feud, maybe 2 pay-per-views worth. Then do an Emma match, probably at like a SummerSlam or a Survivor Series.
If they push Emma right.
They're going to... Well, they already got rid of her from Santino, from what we saw on that brief Raw. Yeah, but it's a good sign. And they have her in like that serious gear, so it doesn't really even make a difference. They'll have the Emma match probably for like a SummerSlam or Survivor Series, something huge, and then do the big payoff for Rumble and or WrestleMania for Paige and AJ Lee. So who knows?
All right, so another roundtable choice of Paige. I think this is going to be one. I think we're all going to choose the same selection on each match.
Okay.
I don't know for these next two.
Oh yeah, we're on the main event.
We're on the 2 main events.
The main event level. Let me finish my sentence. We're on the main event level of the event, and let's start with the first main event: no holds barred elimination match, 6-man tag between the Shield and Evolution.
One thing I can say: this is going to be nuts.
Yes.
If it's going to be anything like what they did at Extreme Rules, yeah.
Oh, it's going to be a lot.
Bigger.
More than that.
It's going to be bigger. It's going to be better.
Now it's confirmed that no holds barred. We know that Susie's coming out to play. Susie the Sledgehammer is going to be in play.
Oh yeah, she did have the Sledgehammer did have a name.
Yeah, and
I never knew the Sledgehammer had a name. So,
and it's going to be crazy. It all depends on whether it's the main event or not for who's going to win. Okay, because I can see a face closing out this pay-per-view as the winner.
But they're in Chicago. Keep that in mind.
Very true.
Very huge wrestling town.
Very true, but they definitely go for the Shield over this is probably going to be like the only person they're really going to boo is Batista, obviously.
All right, go on.
But I didn't see this. I've been known on this show for saying this feud has fallen off.
I agree with you.
This after Extreme Rules, I don't know. It just kind of got one note for me. Just a lot of the Shield just overcoming all kinds of odds until the beatdown on Monday Night Raw. And now that Triple H has come out and actually nailed people with the sledgehammer, I'm saying the Shield takes it. Because I think that Triple H is going to try to hit Roman Reigns with the sledgehammer. He's going to miss and take a spear, and bam. I just don't think that Triple H is going to get one over. He's going to bring out the sledgehammer, okay? He's already nailed everybody on the Shield with the sledgehammer once. And when that normally happens in the olden days, he'd get his comeuppance at the next pay-per-view. So I believe that the Shield takes it.
I'll have you go first because I have an elaborate explanation as to what I think's going to happen.
I'm actually kind of have to side with Brian on this one because I think they're just going to continue the Shield dominance over whatever comes their way. I mean, everyone, even when they were heels, everyone thought, "Oh, this is now the time where the Shield gets their comeuppance." But no, they still get get proven wrong when it comes to the Shield and how dominant they really are. Mm-hmm. And if they want to build these three guys so much to the top, it'll probably be like a good toss up of either like a cheap victory for Evolution to keep this feud really going. Because if like the one problem I do see the Shield winning, but if they do, I mean, what does Evolution have to do to take them down? And I actually brought this up to Brian in the past. I like them wanting to go to even the true extremes and having them do something that's never been done before. Do a 6-man Hell in a Cell match in the near future. Oh my God. 3 guys who know how to do, who has been in plenty of Hell in a Cell matches in the past.
I think Dave just.
I think he likes this. I think he likes this. I think he likes this.
I might need a towel.
So, yeah, have it go to having it end in the match that ends feuds, and with how they're building this, having to go through like really in Extreme Rules, they went everywhere with no holds barred. They have to go one step further to try and take down the Shield, and now they have to take the ultimate step, something that they're gonna. It's kind of like if you look back at like some like old comic books, like, oh, I'm going to have to make a deal with a madman. Like, Batman's so crazy, I'm going to have to make a deal with a madman. We're going to have to ask the Joker for help. That type of deal. Like, the Hell in a Cell is their Joker, like having to do something that they're gonna. It's like, I don't know if I want to do this, but we have no choice.
Right.
So I can see the Shield taking the victory if I want to see something like that happen. And it's something that's never been done before. They have it in their video games, 6-man tag Hell in a Cell matches, but we've never seen it. We've never seen it on TV. We've never seen it live with actual people, not avatars in your video game. So Shield takes this one.
Tarek, how do you take down the drill?
How do I take down the drill?
Avatar reference. How do you take it down?
Take it down from the inside.
That's what the Evolution's going to have to do. They have to take the Shield down from the inside. With Batista's leaving potentially for the Guardians of the Galaxy tour.
I love your Avatar reference, by the way.
Thank you. They have to, because
Last Airbender, right. Not the James Cameron movie.
Oh God!
I have to make that clear,
please. But this is where I'm going to make a Jeff over the top reference of like what could possibly happen.
Get the popcorn ready, Brian.
In this thing, you take the drill down from the inside. How do you take the drill down from the inside? You convince one of those guys who's the future of the business to join Evolution. If you can't beat him, join him, kind of thing, but in reverse. Who will be that guy that I think goes over to Evolution? It's either Reigns or Ambrose. I would think it would be one of those two that makes Evolution win this match. But it's 6-person elimination, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So they can just take the dive. If Roman Reigns is the last guy with Triple H or whatever, he can take the dive, or Ambrose can take the dive, or they can have, say, if Dean Ambrose is the last guy left for some reason, then they can have Reigns spear Ambrose and join Evolution. Because they're going to need a third member to really keep the Evolution faction going. And right now, at this point, what does the Shield have left? They already did the fantasy match multiple times with the Wyatts and the Shield. There's really not another trio that they can bring in within the WWE system that would compete with the Shield. They've already battled Cena numerous times. They've battled all the big names. Undertaker, Kane, Bryan. They've done everything. So instead of oversaturating the Shield to make it to the point that it's really getting annoying, why not right now make that one big push that they either want to have Roman Reigns do or Dean Ambrose do?
So you're suggesting either a finger poke of doom or Kurt Angle coming in and costing
Austin
Team
coming,
Alliance the Survivor Series?
The Kurt Angle one is where I'm going at. Okay. Because whether it be Ambrose or Rollins, Ambrose and Reigns, I don't know. But I'm going way out of left field to say that Evolution's going to win via the help of one of the members of the Shield. And even when Bautista comes back, they'll have the evolution of the past in Triple H, the present in Orton and Batista, and the future being in either Reigns or Ambrose.
If that does occur, I can see Ambrose going out really quickly, like he did at Survivor Series. Like maybe just taking a pedigree or whatever and then going out like 5 minutes into the match. And then when it gets to 3-on-1, because it'll probably get to 3-on-1 at some point, because you're going to have Reigns try to do the Superman, take everybody out, my mind.
I wouldn't go that far, but go ahead.
In my mind. Then when it gets down to 1-on-1, I'd say Triple H versus Reigns, that's when you have Ambrose come back and screw.
Well, he would have to be eliminated, though. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's Dean Ambrose gets eliminated very quickly.
I thought you were saying like a Santino where he goes through the middle rope and then lasts the last two of the Rumble.
Dean Ambrose gets eliminated quickly, and then comes back out at the end and screws Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but you know what though? Here's where I'm having a conflict in saying who's going to do what. Reigns could really benefit if they really want to push him to be that big star that they want to do with him. Obviously, being a family member of the Rock's, and the Samoans have always had a huge role in wrestling's history, dating back to the late 50s, early 60s.
Mm-hmm.
I can see them do. I can see Reigns being the guy that like does a Superman punch on like Ambrose or something, because he's that next guy who would be either the next Punk or the first Ambrose, however you want to put it. So it would be Evolution, Triple H, Orton, Batista, whenever he comes on and off, and Reigns, and have Ambrose and Rollins be a tag team for the time being. Whether they still are called the Shield or not, the name's still going to carry some leverage, considering on who they've beaten and done all that other stuff with. Keep Rollins and Ambrose as a tag team. Maybe find another member for a Shield. Bring in another NXT guy. They can go a million directions with it. But if they want to do the shock value, which I think they're going to try and pull off, especially if this is the last match of the show, which I think it will be, that's something to consider. And especially where Chicago, huge wrestling town, likes its swerves here and there with wrestling storylines and whatnot. That could be possible. It could be very possible.
The only real problem I'm seeing with what you're saying, it's a great idea. I actually do like it, but they've been wanting to push Triple H versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam for a long time. Like, they really do want it. That's not even like rumors. Like, everyone's saying they want Roman Reigns to face Triple H. And when it comes to them wanting to break up the Shield, they've wanted to break up. They were hinting at the Shield breaking up several times before WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I just and they've reached the point where it's kind of. I really hate I had to make this comparison. It's similar to when's John Cena going to turn heel? I really when it really is when are they going to break up the Shield? I'm just having a hard time believing that the Shield will ever turn on each other, because I'm always looking at the Shield as going to be in a way, the next DX, where
But
they'll go their separate ways, and they'll go separate ways to establish themselves as separate guys, but they'll always be that one unit.
But DX did break up, though, when Triple H just kind of said, screw you, I'm going my own way. But there isn't a guy...
It's just hard to see.
But there isn't a guy in that faction that's at that level yet. And even if they want to do Reigns versus Triple H at SummerSlam, I would wait for that match. Because I can't remember the one-on-one match that he had. I believe it was against Orton on a Raw to close out the show. And I had a hard time believing that Reigns was a credible one-on-one threat to anybody. He's still young. He's gonna learn a lot as he goes on with his wrestling career. But I have a hard time believing that they really would, pardon my phrasing, blow their load right away with this Triple H Reigns match, because it's the sexiest match on paper for Triple H at SummerSlam and a potential to boost Reigns' career. Remember the last time that they blew a load on somebody really quick? Randy Orton against the invisible guy who held the world championship since WrestleMania 20. They did that.
No, I'm going to pause you right there. You are okay to say Chris Benoit on this show.
That's fine, but I like to make a joke with that reference.
There's only one invisible champion, and that's the vacant champion.
He was running around the ring for 20 minutes at
SummerSlam
trying to find the title.
Like I just said, it's like there's only one invisible champion in the Scholars of Wrestling, and that's the vacant champion.
True. But yeah,
vacant.
It was Orton and Benoit, and he was poised for greatness. Orton, we already all knew that. But even then, Triple H was still at the top of the mountain. Were they really going to give Orton a run, especially when he's in Evolution with Triple H, where there's going to be a jealousy or some sort of thing? You know what I mean? Like, I don't see them doing that again. I mean, Triple H is a good, credible opponent to beat, but he's never won a match in 2014. So, I mean, I would save that Triple H Reigns match for either Royal Rumble or even a Survivor Series if they want to go at it that quick. But they're going to need big name matches outside of SummerSlam too,
I don't know, I think it's come to a point where I just can't see the Shield breaking up. If anything, I could see a couple NXT guys joining Evolution to cost them the match.
But how far is too far with the Shield?
It's been far. It's been gone too far with the Shield. I mean, they're still unstoppable.
When they did the face turn, that's when they kind of put the fuel back into the fire, just for that little bit. Now they're getting to the point where it's like you really can't do anything with them but break them up. And my Avatar reference, again, break down the force from the inside. So that's the way I feel that it would happen. Evolution takes this match in the closing match of the show.
If it is the closing match.
I believe it would be. I don't think they'll do that with Wyatt and Cena just yet.
And, good segue into last man standing match between Bray Wyatt versus John Cena. And this is, in my opinion, the most entertaining feud that's been going on the past month. Like, this is the match that I'm just really entertained for. Other than, it's like, we even had last week, we were basically debating on whether or not they're kind of slow, no, I'm not making it obvious, slowly turning Bray Wyatt face, but they kind of threw that. They kind of threw that away when they actually started attacking Jerry the King Lawler. Which, if they were going to attack anyone, they should have attacked Michael Cole. But they want to try and get him heel. Yeah. They want to get him heel heat for this, and
they listened to good old JR and those podcasts.
And not even that. I mean, that clothesline that JBL took was awesome.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah, Luke Harper is the new clothesline king.
He really is.
Holy crap.
And
that was a stand.
And JBL took that like a champ.
And,
he knows how to take clotheslines. His finishing move is a clothesline.
Of course. But you look at it in the sense of, like, JBL. I was working a show in South Jersey, and $1 Million Man was our guest. Ted DiBiase. And after the match, he chopped the tag champions of the company at the time, and he was just going to town on them, and he was in his glory. Like, just for that brief moment, he obviously can't do much physically, but what he could do and did, he was in his glory. Oh, absolutely. For JBL to actually be able to take a move like that and be involved physically again, I'm sure he was in his glory, like, oh, I took a clothesline from hell. Awesome. And even further, it's just like, I got to be involved in something physically again. even more awesome. But yeah, I believe that attacking two big face commentators in JBL and eventually trying to get with Jerry Lawler, again, the fans are still going to love the Wyatts. They're going to bring their New York lamps over to Chicago.
Yeah, it's Chicago. The Wyatts are going to get a ovation.
They're going to get a huge ovation.
It's going to be deafening when they're like, Chicago, we're here. Yeah, it's going to be deafening.
Boom, 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 boom.
Now the question is,
Sorry.
does this feud end?
No.
Here.
No.
Which, in that case, if it doesn't end, leads me to believe that Mr. Wyatt comes out on top. If it is going to end, John Cena wins. Now, if John Cena wins, I'm hoping it's the situation that I said last week where he finally just loses his mind and goes apeshit on everyone. Okay, but the way the WWE is, if John Cena wins, it'll probably be some BS like attitude adjustment off of a vehicle or off of a scaffolding or something like that, and that's some bad news for Bray Wyatt. But if it does, if it does continue, Bray Wyatt will win via shenanigans. But it all depends on the place on the card.
Oh yeah,
in my opinion, again,
absolutely.
If this is the main event, John Cena wins. In my eyes.
Actually, I'm thinking the complete opposite. If they want to pull a swerve like what Dave was talking about earlier, if this is the main event, I would like to see them pull a swerve where you think John Cena's going to win, then out of nowhere, Bray Wyatt pulls the Sister Abigail, a big one, something that would keep John Cena down for the 10 seconds to show like he really is a credible opponent in the WWE. Because if they just have John Cena win and then they end the feud, like really, what was the whole point? Because it would just basically say, oh, Bray Wyatt he can face the top guy, but John Cena just basically pushes him back down. I want to see Bray Wyatt win just so he'll be one of those guys like John Cena looked down on me just like my old teacher looked down on me, and I still came up on top with having everyone singing.
The most face promo of all time.
It really was a great face promo that he did. I want to see Bray Wyatt win, depending on where they put the card. This is a hardest choice for me when it comes to this event, because am I thinking, what do I want? Or what does WWE, or what is WWE going to do? Mm. It's not about like what we want. It's about what is best in their eyes.
And in their
eyes, they got to. And it's like what Brian said the last few weeks. They got to keep trying to protect John Cena. Why? John Cena's at a point in his career where he can lose every match now, and it won't hurt him at all.
No.
He's won plenty of WrestleMania main events. He's beaten the best. It's now a point where he should be helping younger stars become real stars. And really, with how much Bray Wyatt is getting so much popularity with the crowds, with even the younger crowd, people are still cheering. Even though most are still cheering for Cena, you still got some going, he's got the whole world in his hands. I really do it would basically help push Bray Wyatt to the stars and beyond if he wins this.
I just need to say this: no freaky demon kids this time.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly. I don't want to see this actually pull a Daniel Bryan at Royal Rumble, where all of a sudden a Sister Abigail from nowhere, and then he pulls another one to end the match. I really like it would actually help escalate to how serious they want to push him. And from what I've been seeing the past year, they really are wanting to push him. So I'm going to be the optimist here. It's probably a dumb choice. I'm going to have to say Bray Wyatt. I'm going to be basically doing what I want. I don't care if I lose points from this. I'm going to choose Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, I already fell down that rabbit hole at WrestleMania. Okay.
It's my turn to jump down the rabbit hole and see how far I go.
Double 10 count. That's the only credible way to keep this feud going. Because if you want to have this feud go further, you can't have either one win. This is going to be reminiscent of Shawn Michaels and Triple H for the one reason. That is a match that closes out feuds, as is Hell in a Cell, as is a bunch of these like I Quit matches, all that other stuff. What we've seen from Cena, he could, like we've seen it with JBL, we've seen it with many other guys. When it comes to these hardcore matches, like whether it be his gimmick or whatever, he just brings out his A game for whatever reason. And because of Wyatt's mind games, that even if Cena does go crazy, like you're saying, Brian, he could pull a Goku and completely exert out all of his energy into like one hellacious, attitude adjustment into a double 10 count.
And take himself out at the same time.
Yes, to sacrifice what he feel would be the better good is to take him out completely. This isn't about winning a match, it's about taking out the movement in one felt swoop.
I didn't even think about that.
So,
that's actually pretty good.
Repeat what you just said? Repeat what you just said?
What about what?
The last thing you said. With what Brian is like, I didn't see that.
No, just the double 10 count. I mean, but again,
it would be a great twist.
It would be a great twist, and that's why I feel that it won't be the last match on the card, because you need on the show, as a special event would be, or pay-per-view, whatever the hell you want to call it. You need that definitive decision. That's why I say that Evolution in the Shield is going to end it with a huge swerve, because obviously Punk's not going to come back in his own hometown like everybody else is having a wet dream about, but you need that decision at the end of a big event, like a pay-per-view event. So that's why I feel that the Cena-Wyatt match will be the third to last match, then the Divas title match, then Shield Evolution. And I disagree on one thing. Bray Wyatt doesn't need to even come out on top of this feud to be pushed, because he's come off so strong. Like, even since WrestleMania, his promo work has been top-notch. Everything about him from this feud with Cena has been top-notch, and it's accomplished what it needed to accomplish. They don't need to do anything else. Maybe another couple matches, fine. With another great string of promos, that's fine too. But if you want to continue this, where I really think a feud of this caliber, and I agree with Tarek that this has been one of the more enjoyable feuds in recent memory. If you're going to end a feud of this caliber, end it at SummerSlam. I don't care how you do it, but just that's how it's going to end. Either that, or I can see this feud taking a hiatus just for Money in the Bank for the title.
That makes sense.
Have Wyatt be in it. This would be my Money in the Bank if they do. What do they do for the All-Star one? 8 or 6?
6.
Have Wyatt, Cena, Cesaro, possibly Kane, just to throw his name out there because he is a member.
If it's for the title, you have to have Kane.
If he's a member of the Authority, and then 2 other guys like maybe Sheamus and Bad News, despite them being champions.
It's not the first time we've had.
Well, it's not the first. It certainly won't be the last.
Yeah.
But considering what they wanted to do is have Bray Wyatt or John Cena go against Daniel Bryan following this string of matches for him, now this is a perfect opportunity to have the double count, have the double 10 count, either continue the match at Money in the Bank with just Cena and Bray Wyatt, or have that continue to play out during the Money in the Bank match, which is why I think they should go. This is just my opinion. That's why they should go with what they go. So double 10 count.
And if they do the double 10 count, it goes back to my point that I've been making, that the end of this for Bray Wyatt has been trying this whole time to have John Cena bring the monster out. So if that does come to pass, then Bray Wyatt can continue on just being like, my job here is done.
And then continue for the title, even though in the back of their minds and in the universe's mind that there's still something there. Because Cena's going to want to get at Bray Wyatt. So there you go. Lead into Money in the Bank for at least part of that match.
This is the main events are actually the most interesting thing to talk about in this pay-per-view because it just brought a lot out of us.
As it should be.
As it should. Thank you, WWE, for actually,
doing something
right. And now, hell, this is the best part. The last topic when it comes to Payback. Will Daniel Bryan relieve himself? I think it's kind of safe to say we already have our answer.
I'm calling shenanigans.
Daniel Bryan surrenders the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, or will Brie Bella be fired?
Both.
I'm calling shenanigans. I say that neither happens.
Neither happens?
Neither happens because shenanigans will come about that cause Daniel Bryan to keep the WWE title and Brie Bella to somehow keep her job. Whether that's Vince McMahon coming back, whether that's somebody, just something out of the usual happening. It's on a pay-per-view, therefore shenanigans will be had that causes Daniel Bryan to keep the WWE title and Brie Bella to keep her job. Even though Brie Bella should be fired just for her horrible acting.
She should just be fired on principle. I mean, it's not even a matter of
Here's just the one question. They actually are hinting at the surgery was a success, but it is a lot he has to take a lot longer off than what they've said they possibly might have.
Despite it being a script, not to cut you off, despite it being a scripted show, and obviously we all know what wrestling is. I mean, it's not even a secret. Thank you, Beyond the Mat.
Staged.
Yeah. Come on, shut up. I'm trying to set up the moment here. Daniel Bryan, I feel that he really is legitimately injured to the point where he really needs to take probably a whole year off. Because despite everything being scripted, he didn't have to come out and be like, it's kind of serious. Doctors are saying that the injury was worse than they thought. There's a reason behind it. Things like that for stock market purposes, as far as people's investment in the company, and as far as now with their whole steroid thing that they're obviously under a consistent probe, and the way that they are with their athletes, especially which was a big part of bringing a guy like Bruno Sammartino back in the first place. They have to leave those things on the front line. So with that being said, I feel that he does relinquish the championship, but Brie gets fired anyway. Storyline wise, just so that they can have their time to themselves, which I'm sure they'll gladly oblige with Daniel Bryan, because they just got married, so they can spend time with one another.
And Stephanie McMahon can come off as
a huge heel. Yeah. Huge. So, I mean, I think I've said as a joke both happens, but I think in the right way, meaning Daniel Bryan does surrender the championship and then she eventually gets fired.
I would like to see her not getting I don't think they're gonna have her being fired too. I could actually see Daniel Bryan coming out on his own and basically relinquish the title on his terms, not having Stephanie McMahon down his throat and him putting down the belts and walking out.
So kind of but see, if that happens, then people immediately, obviously in Chicago, a big wrestling town, are going to think, oh crap, he's pulling an Edge, he's retiring.
Oh, he won't say he will. He said he will be back. That whole thing.
But you don't know this. Again, this is all scripted. But you even
and then have Stephanie come out, grab the titles, and then celebrate with them, and then pull something huge.
Yeah, probably then announce the Money in the Bank for this year is going to be for the championship. Actually, that's when I think they'll have two. They'll have one for the championship and then one for the contendership of the championship. Because they have to have that gimmick of a contract.
At some point, yeah.
So I would think that it would be... Wouldn't that be cool? I mean, this is just me stretching the reality here for a second. Have the championship obviously happen with the top 6 or 8 guys, whatever they deem necessary. Imagine if the contenders match is full of NXT wrestlers. That would be their way of pushing somebody else. They could still lose, obviously, by Sandow's example.
Oh, I had to bring that up.
Yeah, you had to do
Sorry.
that. You had to do that.
But I could see that. I don't know
Damn,
why.
that Davy Crockett gimmick thing.
Oh, God, please. Don't even.
Magneto! Whoa!
No, but you know what? Again, relinquish the title, and I think she'll still pull a BS move of like, you know what? He did the right thing, but I don't like you. You pushed me, because that's still a threat in her mind. They put her hands on the principal owner of the company.
Yeah.
So they can still fire her anyway.
I would like to see that be a backstage thing when they're walking out, like they're going home.
Would be.
And
That
would even be more. He have Stephanie come out, grab the belts, celebrate with him, and then like sometime like after maybe a match or so later, then have Stephanie say, "Oh, you still put your hands on me.
Yeah.
You're still fired."
Yeah, they go out into their limo or something, and all of a sudden she's like, "Oh, wait, here, wait." Or I'll reflect stuff. Wait. Come on. You know what? I'm glad you did the right thing. What's best for business, but you're still fired. Whatever.
Somehow, it's like, I think no matter what, we're going to say Daniel Bryan will give the championship up. Sad to say. I'm not saying he's not going to pull an edge. He won't pull. I don't think he'll pull an edge. I think because it's been so much of success, he'll have a shortened career. But I don't think it's. I don't think it's going to be anything like to a point. They'll build him coming back.
True.
Probably something similar to when Triple H first came back from his quad injury. Something like
in Seattle or something where he's from, or at MSG.
Something
it's going to be a
big.
huge wrestling crowd.
Yeah,
I can see that. Or at Izod, even, because now it's like the best crowd that's ever happened at Izod Center. So that could be. I don't want to say that next mecca for wrestling, because nothing will ever take that place for MSG. But I mean, the crowd reaction, whether it be at MSG or Izod, is going to be.
It's the same crowd.
Oh,
it's the same crowd, pretty much.
But there are some people that prefer MSG over Izod, obviously, and
of course,
it's still the same thing. You're right.
And I think that's. I think we pretty much got everything down for this event. Hopefully, everything will happen as what each of us have said. Fingers crossed.
Will I continue my reign of dominance?
Probably, but first let's do a little cheap plugs for Davey Boy.
Oh, thank you so much, and thank you for having me on again. I completely appreciate it.
Anytime.
Oh, thank you. You guys are so sweet.
Thank you.
I do my show, Open Mic Wrestling Night, very regularly or semi-regularly, whatever the heck you want to call it, on Filling the Void Radio Network, blogtalkradio.com/filling the void RN. And then I write a blog every now and again. I've been kind of taking some time off from that, but I'll be starting some new blogs up real soon at thejohnharder.com. Calypso's Corner is the name of the blog. If you check it out, I already have a few up, and I have a couple more brewing that will hopefully be up within the next couple of weeks as the time of this posting. So thank you so much for having me on again. I've had a splendid time, and I hope Jeff finds his way back from the Savage Wolves.
Same here. We missed you, fool. It's like 2 episodes with you gone. Oh, that's sad. All right, I think it's my job to do the cheap plugins now. If you want to join on our predictions, if you want to throw in your thoughts, if you want to tell us what you think, take down this man here, prove either of us wrong, make us feel like complete idiots, you can join our fantasy wrestling league at 4down.org. I'm going to actually give you the link to our page, 4down.org/leagues/scholars. You can apply to us, and if we feel like you're worthy of our grace, we will accept you.
Now, is it the number 4, or is it spelled out F-O-U-R?
F-O-U-R, down.org.
Okay.
Thank you. Good. And if you like our show, which hopefully you do, I mean, we're like at episode 26, and if you listen to us from the beginning, you probably already are a part of us. But if you like what you hear and you want to join us, you can subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, which you're probably already on. Yay! Thank you. And you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/HIAFSOAW. We had to spell it out for everyone. Okay. Or you can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/scholarsow. And I think that's it. You can like each of our page on Twitter And
like us on
Facebook too.
Follow us on Twitter.
We are not doing that.
Subscribe to us on YouTube.
You had
or
to
get
pull
the
the Zack
hell
Ryder.
out.
You had, well, minus the get the hell out. You really had to pull a Zack Ryder on us.
Hey,
I tried to avoid that last week.
well, guess what? You're not avoiding it this week.